Don't you just love that noise? Coming into the main event of January and what I have planned. So if you watched the previous video, I spoke about how I'm going to basically do like a January free starter pack for you on YouTube. Okay, and the reason I do that is because I know there's so many people with all these great intentions. They're excited about the new year. And this is why I put in the middle new year and new me. And then number one, motivation. How do I get motivated? How do I become unmotivated? Here, I can't find the motivation to get my steps in. I can't find the motivation. You can't find the motivation to do anything, basically, okay? And I'm not going to come into this video and I'm not going to bring the energy of pointing the finger and saying, well, you have to do this, but I am going to get you to be very real with yourself for the next 4 weeks of joining me and like really take what I'm saying and put it into action and tell me you don't see a change, because the only way you won't see a change is if you actually don't take action on what I'm gonna go through. Let's look at the steps of what I have laid out here, okay? So today's video is all gonna be about motivation, number one, and kind of rephrasing that word. Number two, vision boards. Three, comfort zones and being uncomfortable. Two, obviously very different things. And number four, my favorite, which is action, okay? And you'll see I didn't even label these 2, 3, or 4 for a specific reason, okay? So you hear this new year, new me, but it really is only a new day. So if you always have this idea of like, I'm gonna start Monday, it's like you're waiting for the wrong reason. And first of all, you're not gonna succeed because you're starting in the wrong mindset. Oh, I'll start Monday. It's like, why can't you start tomorrow? Because there's this like belief around if you start on a Monday, you'll get off to a great start. But what happens when Monday comes around and like your boss asks you to stay a little bit later, or the kids aren't well? It's like, oh, well, I'll start Tuesday. Oh, well, they're still not well and like I still have loads to do and blah, blah. It's like, start right now where you are. If that's your intention in this video, do it, okay? So motivation comes from me, and this is why I'm giving you my experience, is because it comes from a very internal place for me, okay? I don't ever need motivation to get me going because I have a big why. And when you have a why, and when you get up every day, and when you look after your body, and when you push towards success in like your life, if it's business, growth, relationships, whatever it is, you don't need external motivation, right? So when you look at internal motivation for a start, okay, that's your why. So write that down when you're taking notes. So pen and paper out for every video this month. So number one, why are you doing it? Okay, so I'm going to give you an example with fitness transformation or coaching. So why did someone get on for a consultation call? You're probably feeling shit. Someone may have commented on your physique or something. You may not fit into clothes anymore. Maybe you've got underlying health conditions. You know, if you do not take action on them, number one, you could probably die if it's really serious. Number two, you might not be able to reproduce and have actually healthy organs internally as a woman, and you might not be able to have kids or whatever it is down the line. Or maybe some people are a little bit older and they're like, shit, like time to make a change. Like I'm sick of feeling like this for a long time. So when this is so deep and when it's so big, you won't find an excuse or distractions outside of that. So if you don't have that, what do you look at? It's like, oh, well, everything else on the outside gets pulled from you. Because deep down, I know when I have shit to do, or when I know what I value, like my highest value is my health and how I wake up physically, mentally, spiritually, every single day. I cannot function if my morning is disrupted. I cannot function. And I know that's not maybe an ideal world, but like, what is important to you? Like, what way does your day start? Do you start in like a high state every single day? So like, that's other things to kind of think of too. So when you've got a big why, and when you know, okay, I'm sick of feeling like this, I don't want to feel like shit anymore, I'm never going to have someone comment on me about that again. I'm not going to look in the mirror and say, oh, I hate my lower stomach. Or like me, for example, right now, I'm on my period, I'm hormonal, I'm going to get spots, I feel it, my stomach is sore. You know what? I still love myself. I still know why I'm doing everything. I don't give up because I'm on my cycle and say, oh, kick the feet up. I'm feeling really sorry for myself. I'm going to eat a load of shit because like that's what you need on your cycle. Because at the end of the day, that's not what you need on your cycle. You know, people play these things in their head and play tricks on themselves to say, this is what I need. It's like you don't. You're telling yourself you need that. And your mind is so strong that it doesn't know any difference. Okay, apologies. Uber driver was outside with my stuff. So coming back to the motivation, okay? So write down right now, why is it that you want to see a change? Why is it that you're starting to feel like shit? Do you want to travel and do you want to go somewhere? Do you want to be financially free? Do you want to be able to, I don't know, do you want to be able to wear a dress that you want to wear this year and go to a wedding and not have to hide or feel like, oh my God, my arms are so fat? Like, what is it? And is there a deeper why to your health, for example? And I'm using that as an example for motivation. External with motivation is everything else around you. So like, are you doing it for validation off other people? Are you doing it because you broke up with your boyfriend and you want them to come back and you're like, if I get into the best shape ever? But that's the wrong reason, because that's internal. You should be doing that for yourself. Because if you really were doing it for yourself, you wouldn't care if someone said anything, because you know deep down, you know who you are and you're confident in yourself. When you're not confident in yourself, you will know. So external is everything else around you, motivation wise, like, oh my God, I look at the fancy car. Like I'm here in Miami, okay? I could point out and say, look at the mansions, look at the places, look at the Lamborghinis that they're driving. I don't do that because I know that, like, if I want that one day, that's what I'll get. And if I feel like I'm driven by an external source, of course you can have goals and you can have milestones and it's something that you want to work for or save for, absolutely, but there has to be a deeper why. Like when you get that, what is it that you're going to feel? What is it that you need? Did you get that green tick that you needed? Majority of the time people don't. So I always feel like when you work from the inside out, it's just more pure. So that's motivation. So first of all, know your why. So write that down. So write your why down and what you want to do it. Second one is milestones and goal setting. So give yourself deadlines. So make sure you know, okay, if I'm going to set myself this goal, I need to do it. I need to take action on it. Number 2 is vision boards. So it can be physical, or else it can be virtual on your phone. Okay, so mine right now is on my phone and it's on my laptop cover. So every day when I wake up, I see it. Every minute when I click my phone, I see it. I remember my why. I know what I'm doing. And it really reminds me of the grind and what I want to do every single day. Physical, you can take out a magazine, chop up different things. You could print them off online and stick them into like a frame. Some people like to physically see it, and it's more of like a little bit of a task and like an activity that you could do. That's definitely something. So visualization is like your mind, right? So when you, for example, go asleep, you go into a totally different, you go into your imagination, right? And that's how you get dreams, and that's how you're like, how did that even happen? It's because that's what you can create. So when it comes to your visualization and what you want to do and see, you have to be able to believe that before I can tell you, I'm going to get you that transformation. You're going to be able to progress in your job. You're going to be able to travel here. If you can physically see it and like imagine it, you can make it come true. Like, look at all these people that do it. And it's like, yeah, but, and it's like, you're making all these excuses up for yourself when it's possible. Everything is possible if you can just put it down, but you do have to take action. You can't just say, let's do a vision board and let's hopefully say everything comes together, you know? And like this time last year when I done out my goals, I looked back on them like 2 weeks ago at the start of January, and I realized I put down like 3 things that scare me every single year. And like the things that scared me back then a year ago, I looked at them and I was like, how is that scary? Like, that's not scary at all. But that just goes to show how your mind can limit you, and what I can tell you like is that's a little bit too big, because your ego and your comfort zone will be like, oh, stay safe. Don't go that big because you might not achieve it. So I know when some of you girls are goal setting with me, you're like, I'll just say 3K or I'll just say 5-kilometer run, because like, I feel like the 10 might be a little bit unachievable. So you've already set yourself up for failure. You've already made it that like you're not going to do it. So why would you not just go a little bit bigger and then strive towards that? It's exciting. It's like, it's a big goal. It's something that you can do with small steps to get you there, you know? So that's like a big one for me. So motivation, visual boards, like you can do that yourself, physically or the virtual. And then comfort zone and uncomfort uncomfortable. So with your comfort zone, whether it be in relationships, Ciara, I don't want to leave that person because I feel like they'd be lost without me, or like I'd hate to see them with someone else, and like we're kind of like saving for this at the minute, and like hopefully things start to pick up a little bit better. You're comfortable right now and you don't want to leave. That's facts with a lot of people. Friendships. With growth comes leaving a few people behind because you're in a different energy. Do you want to bring that drain in friendship? Do you want your friends to grow with you? Do you feel like every time you go, your energy is being sucked from you and you don't get anything back? They need to be ditched in the bin. The relationship, I really want to travel and do these things, but my partner has a remote job and like he can't do it. Okay, so you're never going to do it in your life? No, like I probably won't ever get to do that. Okay, right, we're going to stay in your comfort zone forever. That's cool. Keep doing it, but I mean, that's up to you. Another thing with comfort zone is your job, career path and growth. We're getting messy over here. Okay, I want to earn more money, but like my job will never be able to pay me that. And like, I like my job, but like I don't love it. So many girls in the goal setting workshop were like, I like it, but like I wouldn't know what else to do. Work on yourself. Go and find the answers. Go and find something you're really passionate about. And then come back and say, actually, would you believe I literally started doing these paintings and people start buying them and I make all this money off them. I was actually able to leave my full-time job. Okay, wonder how that happened, because you know what that is? That's like pure love. That's coming from like the deepest part of you because it's passion. You love to do it. I love what I do every single day. Of course it's going to be hard. Of course there's going to be challenges. It's tough running a team. It's tough expanding. It's tough growing. Absolutely. It makes me like, God, I'm taking on more people. I have more responsibility. Yeah, that's what comes with it. But am I scared? I won't say I'm not, but yeah, I am sometimes, but I will always push past that. I'll always take the risk. I'll always push and feel uncomfortable, because that's where growth comes. That's where like that evolution comes. That's when you start to step into a new self, but you have to leave your old self behind, which is uncomfortable. So come into uncomfortable. So if you're in your comfort zone all the time, sometimes comfort zone as well, by the way, is a good thing, because people can like really work on themselves. They can find themselves, but it can also kill you off too. Okay, if you want to be uncomfortable, it means, write this down. If I want to get uncomfortable, live a life truly aligned with myself, write that down. I need to step into a new version of myself and leave an old version behind. And you know what happens when you leave an old version behind? You leave friends behind, you leave relationships behind, you might change career. You might not keep everyone happy. Everyone might be like, you are absolutely crazy. They'll doubt you. They'll tell you you're mad. They'll say, that's too much. Don't work too hard. Don't do all that. You're going to stress yourself out. Cool. Because these are the comfortable people that aren't actually probably truly happy. Uncomfortable is scary. It's risky. It's exciting. It feels horrible because your ego and your mind is so strong that it wants to keep you safe all the time, to be like, that doesn't feel good, that doesn't feel good. But when you can go past that and we can really like do what makes you feel happy, game changer. So you need to step into a new version of yourself and leave an old version behind. Only a couple of weeks ago, just before Christmas, I think it was like at the end of November, I was going through this like phase where I was just so confused. My head was like scrambled and I was just upset, and like work and just everything was going all over the place. And I realized that like the way I was doing things was changing, which meant it was a new version of myself, but it felt weird. It felt awkward. It felt out of touch. And I was just like, I don't like how this is making me feel. Like, what do I do? Okay, well, like you can do two things. When you feel uncomfortable, you can revert back to the comfort zone and go back into usual routine, usual circle, usual outcome, usual payment, usual everything. Okay, and it brings you back the same thing all the time. But what happens if you step outside your comfort zone? Well, naturally, it's a new action, it's growth, it's success, and it's a step closer to where you are. or who you want to be. Step closer to who you want to be and who you are. And you probably can't see this right now, but I feel like what gets written down gets done. So, okay, well, what happens when you get into this new place? Okay, well, then you'll get comfortable again, you'll start to find your feet, but then you might get uncomfortable again, and it's all about growth. Like, in life, like, we should be excited and we should be changing all the time. Different perspectives, different environments, different people, different places, different physique, different body, different mind. Everything is changing. Like, as we grow and as we get older, we should be changing, we should be learning more about ourselves. It's exciting. And if not, well, then it's like, life is boring. What's the point? I'm tired. January is shit. It's not the same here because, like, I don't live in the sun. Oh my God. Do you think I've lived here my whole life? Do you think I've lived in Dubai? Do you think I've lived in Spain? Do you think I've been in all these places and said that every year? No, I haven't. I've been in that position where I'm like, oh my God, January is so depressing at home. It's grey all the time. It's like, we're alive, and my mindset has changed, and I wouldn't have thought like that back then, but that's where growth comes, and that's what it's all about. And my favourite one of all, and we're going to put a big love heart on this, is action. Write down this. What will I do? What will I do today to take that step towards a new me? And what if some people are like, well, I don't want to be a new me? Okay, cool. Stay comfortable. Stay complacent. Stay in the same emotions all the time. Remain the same. That's cool. But if you're on this channel and you're here for inspiration, you're here for growth, and you're actually going to take action, I can guarantee you your life will change 100%. So what will I do today to take that step towards a new me? I'm going to give you an example. Number one, your health and your fitness. I'm going to go to bed a little bit earlier. I promised myself that. I said to Jade today, we're asleep by 10 o'clock. Like, that's it. Non-negotiable. I won't text you after that. You won't text me. We'll be asleep. That's it. Like, I'm in bed for a good routine. I'm hydrating my body. I've got my Stanley there. Okay, everyone got all their stuff for Christmas. You've got the gym gear. You've got the runners. You've got the Stanley cup. Why are you not using them? Drink your water every single day. I'm talking the minor things. Go out and get some fresh air. Meditate. Do a little bit of yoga. Maybe decide that you're going to join up to a class, right? But don't just think and say, I'm going to do all of this. Take action. After this YouTube, write below and tell me if you've took action. So if you've made it this far, you are 100% on number 4 and you're going to take action. So any of my clients, anyone like that that's watching it, I want to know below in the comments. I want to see you active. I want to see you there. What's your 3 things that you're going to do from right now that's going to take action? Mine is go to bed earlier. Number 2 is going to be hydrate more. And number 3, I done yoga in the park this morning. I'm going to do yoga at least twice a week. Why? Because it grounds me. I feel good. My nervous system feels relaxed. Like, I'm on my cycle now and I'm like, I'm feeling it and I actually enjoy it. It's not like, oh my God, I'm in pain. Like, of course, like, I feel a little bit like you do feel rotten, any girl knows that, but like, you also feel so connected with yourself. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, I'm healthy. I feel good. I'm taking today as a rest. I'm also gonna like slow down to speed up once a week on a Sunday. That's my day that I get ahead. So overall, when we look at where we're at, number 1, stop asking for motivation, please. Like, find your why. If you don't know why you're doing it, you won't do it. So find a deeper why. Number 2, goal setting. If you haven't watched or done the goal setting workshop, pop it below, goal setting, and I'll email you over the goal setting workshop. I will send it to you. Number 2, a vision board. Ciara, I haven't really done out my goals yet. It's just been a crazy January so far. Okay, you're going to get into February, March, April, May. You're going to get to the end of 2025 and you're going to wonder why there was no changes. What gets written down gets done. Visualize it, see it, feel it. Where do you want to be? Remember, if you want change, you have to take that change. And I'm sure, like, you can probably hear my voice and you're like, well, it's easy. People will say it's easy for me to say. Trust me, I have worked my ass to where I am right now, and I'm only getting started. And why? Because it's exciting. I love that thrill. That's how I feel every day. That's why I'm inspired. That's why I'm motivated. Number 3, comfort zones. We can call it number 3 now because I've had my moment. So number 3, what's your relationships like? Do you and your partner need to work on things together? Do you need to work on yourself as a whole? Because I know deep down I did, and I have, and I always will. But I knew, and I know now, it's like, it's so amazing when you know yourself on a deeper level, because like, you know what you don't want, you know what you want, and you know what you'll surround yourself with too. Friendships, do some people need to be cut off? And not in a bad way, but like, do people drain you? It's your energy, it's your time, it's your circle. Like, what are the things that you talk about? What is the conversation? How does it feel? Like, do people support you in what you do? If your friends don't support you in your business or in life in general, or pick up the phone, I mean, job and career. I know some of my girls are like, I'm actually going to ask for a bit of a career change, or I'm going to ask for an increase, because the amount that I do, and I stay back and I look after everyone else, and I don't get paid for it, but I just do it because if I don't do it, no one else will. What happens if you don't do it? Someone else will do it. So why are you putting yourself in that lower frequency of like, oh my God, well, I'm victim here, I need to do it all? No, I'm not. Like, if you're going to do it, you're going to be paid for it. Of course, everything comes with like a push and a pull, and like, if you're going to do the work, you get the reward. But if you're going to do the work and not get the reward, you're not going to be content or happy with what you're doing, because it won't feel like it's worth it. Stepping, and then comes uncomfortable. So stepping into a new version of myself and leaving an old version behind will be scary. That shit, by the way, is so scary, because you start to realize, I don't want this, I don't want that, and then you're like, oh shit, like, am I not going to want my partner that I'm with? Is this actually going to work? Like, what about like the job that you're in? Am I going to let my team down? Like, do I really want to work with these people anymore? Like, what is it? So that's really, really important. So, stepping into a new version. And by the way, as well, it's not just a solo journey, by the way. Like, we're all one, we're all together. Like, I have a team, I've got amazing people around me as well. But like, bring these people with you. And if they don't want to come, and if they're not willing to change, and if they don't put the work in, they get left behind, and that's just it. And then number 4, action. What will I do today to take the steps towards a new me? And that's the most exciting part. Evolution is everything. Growth, success, stepping into the creator and the energy of who you want to be, and bringing it back to yourself. So when you start to get rid of a lot of stuff on the outside, you really start to get to know yourself on a deeper level, and that's where all your why will come from, because you won't even need to know. It will just be like, I know why I want to do this, because I'm passionate, I love it. When you're not passionate about something and it doesn't come from like true essence, you will naturally go the other way against it. So you're always fighting against the two energies. So that's just something to have a little bit of a think about. But as always, it is a new year, it is a new you, and if you can take this today, and if you can take these steps, and if you can try and implement them into your life, and just know that if I try, what about if I just try? Okay, don't point the finger, don't look at me, like, look at yourself right now and say, is it like, what date are we at? Is it the 12th of January, and like, we're 12 days into the new year? I said I would do all these things. I was actually buzzing for a fresh start. I was going to clear out my presses. I was going to start over. Did you do it? If the answer is no, get your pen and paper out, go back on this YouTube and take note, because I'm going to be dropping so much more. I'm going to show you how to use MyFitnessPal. I've never done anything like this before with helping people. I'm going to go back in like to this extreme. I'm going to send you goal setting workshops. Like, you've literally got it all there. And then you probably turn around and be like, well, why are you doing that? There's no catch. I genuinely just love to help. And I know if I can impact one person, you'll impact the next, the next, the next. And it's just like a full circle moment for everyone. And that's what passion is, because you don't look for anything else in return. It's purpose. It's why I do it. So I hope this has helped. Please comment below and let me know the 3 things that you're going to take action towards right now this week. Even if you're listening to this on Spotify as well, it will be up on the podcast. Share it. Let me know how it made you feel. Did you feel a bit like, oh my God? Some people will feel resent, some people will be excited, some people will be inspired. But I absolutely love feedback. So please, if you could, let me know if you listen. Let me know if you got this far. And I will catch you on the next episode, the next YouTube drop next week. We're staying consistent. That's my commitment to you. But have an amazing week, and cheers to 2025.